Welcome to tutorials on C programming. These tutorials are based on the textbook The C Programming Language written by Dennis Ritchie and Brian. This is the first chapter of the book, a tutorial introduction. This chapter doesn't take you down into the details of a C program, but it gives you an overall idea of how a C program is. Features of C. C is a general-purpose programming language designed by Dennis Ritchie on Unix operating system. General-purpose in the sense, C can be used to develop software for a wide variety of applications. The only way to learn a new programming language is by writing programs in it. So here is our first program to print the words "Hello World." If you are trying your examples on a Linux machine, create this program in a file with .c extension, for example hello.c. Then compile using the command cc hello.c. If you haven't misspelled anything, compilation will be successful and produce an executable a.out. You can run this executable using the command /a.out and it will print the output as hello world. Now, let's see this program in detail. A C program consists of functions and variables. What is a function? A function contains statements that specify the operations to be done. And there are variables. Variables store the result of these computations or operations. Functions can have any name. You can name it with any name you like, but main is special. Your program begins executing from the beginning of main, and that means every program must have a main somewhere. And main will in turn call other functions to help it perform its job. And these other functions, it can be written or it may be written by you or it can be from some libraries. Now see the first statement, which is #include stdio.h. This statement tells the compiler to include information about the standard input-output library. Do you know how functions communicate with each other? It's via arguments. The calling function can provide a list of values called arguments to the function it calls. How it provides the arguments? You can see the parenthesis after main. So inside this parenthesis, the arguments can be listed. Here, the parenthesis after main is empty. That means main doesn't expect any arguments. The statement of a function is always enclosed in braces. You can see an opening brace after main, and after the statement there is a closing brace. And there is only a single statement inside main, that is printf hello world /n semicolon. A function is called by its name, followed by the list of arguments. Here the name of the function is printf and the argument is hello world /n, which is enclosed in double quotes. Printf is a library function that prints output. Here it prints the words hello world. A sequence of characters in double quotes is called a character string or a string constant, and here hello world is a string constant. And you can see a /n or a new line character after hello world. There will be a new line advance after printing the output, and if you don't use /n, you can see there is no new line advance. /n is called an escape sequence, and there are other escape sequences as well. Escape sequences in C are used to represent hard-to-type characters such as a new line, a tab, a backspace, etc. So we have few escape sequences like /n for new line, /t for tab, /b for backspace, /quotes for the double quote, and // for the backslash itself. Let's see how this output of this program looks. So I've already written and saved it in a file called hello.c. I'm opening the file using vim command. This is the file. You can see the first line should have a new line, that is /n. Then second print should have quotes in the beginning, then comma and a slash, and again a new line. Third print, there will be a tab, and WORLD. O will not be there because there is a backspace escape sequence here, and again slash n, and printf hello world. Here there is no slash n. This is for you to understand the difference, how it will look without slash n. Now compile the code. You can ignore the warning. Now a.out file will be generated in the same folder. To run a.out, type /a.out. You can see the output. See the output as hello world. Hello, here quotes is there, slash is there, and world hello. We had a tab /t here. WO is missing and /b was there, and hello world. Here there is no slash in, so there is no new line advance after hello world. Next topic is variables and arithmetic expressions. In order to understand this topic in a better way, we'll try out the program to convert temperature in Fahrenheit to temperature in degree Celsius using the formula C is equal to 5 by 9 into temperature in degree Fahrenheit minus 32. The table here shows the temperature in Fahrenheit and its Celsius equivalent temperature. So our program should produce this table as an output. Let's see in detail the temperature conversion program. It introduces several new ideas including comments, declarations, variables, arithmetic expressions, loops, and formatted output. The first two lines, that is /* program to print Fahrenheit Celsius table for far equal to 0, 20, etc. up to 300 //. This is called a comment, and in this case it explains what the program does. Anything written between /* and // are ignored by the compiler, and you can use it anywhere to make the program more clear. And next comes the variables inside main. Far, Celsius, lower, upper, and step. They are of the type int. You can see it written as int far, Celsius. This is called declaration of the variables. Before you use them in any computation, it should be declared, usually at the beginning of the function. A declaration announces the properties of variables. It consists of a name and a list of variables. And the type int means they are integers. Similarly, you can use float, which means floating point, that is numbers that may have a fractional part. And the range of both int and float depends on which machine you are using. Apart from int and float, there are other data types in C which we'll see later. Then coming to the computation, before the computation we have to assign the variables with values. So you assign lower equal to 0, upper equal 300, and step equal 20. You can see each individual statement should be terminated by semicolons. And I think you remember the table which we have to generate. Each line of that table or each row of the table is computed in the same way. So it's done using while loop. While far less than or equal to upper braces, then you'll have statements inside the braces. The while loop is operated like the condition in parenthesis is tested first. If it is true, far is less than or equal to upper, the body of the loop, the three statement enclosed in braces, is executed. Then again the condition is retested, and if true, the body is executed again. And whenever the test becomes false, whenever the far exceeds or greater than upper, the loop ends and execution continues at the statement after the loop. There are no further statements in the program, so in this case it terminates. And the body of the while loop, it might contain single statement also. If there is only one statement, there is no need of the brace. You can indent the statements controlled by the while by one tap stop. So at a glance, you can make out which statements are inside the loop. And the indentation emphasizes the logical structure of the program, but C compiler doesn't make it mandatory, like you have to indent the program with these many tab spaces. There is no such rule. It's just making programs easy for people to read. And the computation is done using the formula Celsius equal 5 into Far minus 32 by 9. And the reason for multiplying by 5 and dividing by 9 instead of just multiplying by 5 by 9 is that in C, as in many other languages, integer division is truncated. Any fractional part is discarded. Since 5 and 9 are integers, 5 by 9 the result will be truncated to 0, and so all the Celsius temperatures calculated will be 0. So that's the reason we are using the formula in this way. And coming to the printf statements, its first argument is a string of characters to be printed, with each percentage indicating where one of the other arguments is to be substituted and in what form it is to be printed. You can see printf percentage 3d slash t percentage 60 slash n Far, Celsius. So percentage d in the first position corresponds to the variable far, which is an integer, and percentage 60 in the second position corresponds to the integer variable Celsius. Each percentage construction in the first argument of printf is paired with corresponding second argument, third argument, etc. And printf is just a useful function from standard library of function and are normally accessible to all C programs. And the printf percentage 3d and percentage 60, you may be wondering what these numbers are, right? It is the width. The numbers printed will be right justified in their fields. Okay, so percentage 3d and percentage 60. 3d means it will be printed in a field 3 digit wide. 60 means in a field 6 digits wide. In the program which we have seen, we have used integer variables. So the results will not be that accurate. You have to use floating point arithmetic instead of integer. So in order to use float variables, there are little changes to be made. The program is same as before, except that Far and Celsius are declared to be float. And the formula of conversion is written as in a more natural way, like 5.0 by 9.0 into Far minus 32. So a decimal point in a constant indicates that it's a floating point. So 5.0 by 9.0 is not truncated since it is floating point value. And if an arithmetic operator has integer operands, an integer operation is performed. Like we have seen 5 divided by 9. There an integer operation is performed. If an arithmetic operator has one floating point operand and one integer operand, integer will be converted to floating point before the operation is done. If we had written Far minus 32, 32 would be automatically converted to floating point. So If you're writing floating point constant with explicit decimal points, even when they have integral values, their floating point nature will be emphasized for human readers. Now, while far less than or equal to upper also work in the natural way, there also int is converted into float before doing the operation. Then you have the printf specifications where percentage 3.0f. It says that a floating point number is to be printed at least 3 characters wide, but there should not be any decimal digit or with no decimal point and no fraction digit. And percentage 6.1f describes another number that is to be printed at least 6 characters wide with 1 digit after the decimal point. So for 0 it will be printing minus 17.8. So 8 is the 1 digit after decimal point. Now let's see the output of temperature conversion program. First we use using integer variables. We see how it looks. So this is the program. This is the same as the one which I have shown in the presentation. You can see here these are all integers, and percentage 3d and percentage 6d are the format specifiers used. Now let's check the output. Now run the a.out file. So this is the output. That table is generated as output. These are all integers, and as we have told, we have to change the integer variables to float. So next we'll have a look at how the float variables is going to make a difference in the values printed. So here you can see float. These are all float, and here also 5.0 by 9.0. So here float division happens, and here so the formula is also slightly changed, and here the format specifier is 3.0 and here 6.1. So 1 digit after decimal point. Here there will not be any decimal point. Let's see. Now run a.out. See the difference. Here is the output printed. Okay. Apart from int and float, there are other data types in C. They are char or character, a single byte, short, which is a short integer, long for long integer, and double for double precision floating point. Apart from this, C has percentage X for hexadecimal, percentage O for octadecimal, and percentage B for binary. See the usage of format specifiers. You can omit width and precision from a printf statement. You can just give %d in order to print a decimal integer. At the same time, you can use format specifiers like %6f. It says that number is to be at least 6 characters wide it should be. And %.2f means 2 characters after decimal point. But width is not constrained, can be of any width. And %f, just f means it merely says to print the number as floating point. So %d is to print as decimal integer, %6d is print as decimal integer at least 6 characters wide. %f is print as floating point, %6f is print as floating point at least 6 characters wide. And %.2f is print as floating point 2 characters after decimal point, and %6.2f is print as floating point at least 6 wide and 2 after decimal point. And others are %O you can use for octal, %x for hexadecimal, %c for character, %s for character string, and %% for its. A single program can be written in different ways. So one of the ways we have seen is using while loop. Same time you can write using for loop, and this program also produces the same output, but it looks very different from the previous program. One major change is most of the variables are eliminated, only var remains, and we have made it an int. And the lower and upper limits and the step size, they are all made as constants. You can see 0, 300, 20, etc. in the program. And then we have used for loop. So for loop itself is new for you. So what is a for loop? For loop or a for statement is a loop. It is a generalization of while, and its operation is somewhat similar to while. Within the parenthesis there are three parts separated by semicolon. First part is the initialization part, which talks about var equal to 0. Initialization is done once before the loop is entered. Second part is the test or condition that controls the loop. The condition is evaluated, and if it is true, the body of the loop, that is the statement inside the braces of for, is executed. Then the increment step is done, that is var equal var plus 20, and the condition is again re-evaluated. The loop terminates if the condition has become false, and as with while, the body of the loop can be a single statement as well. And if it is a single statement, you don't have to enclose in braces, you can indent them, and the initialization, condition, and increment can be any expressions. And you'll have a question whether we should use while loop or for loop. The for is usually appropriate for loops in which initialization and increment are single statements which are logically related. Since it is more compact than while, and this for loop keeps the loop control statement together in one place, you can go for that as well. Now we'll see the same temperature conversion program using for loop. This is the program using for loop. Its size has greatly reduced. Most of the variables are eliminated. So we have only var variable, which is taken as an int. All other things are used as constants here. 0, 300, and the step size. And this is the formula. And here the formula for computation is also used as a variable in printf statement. With this value will be substituted at 6.1f. So now let's run the program and see the output. See, the output remains same. So this means you can implement a program in different ways using different logics. In a program, you might have seen the usage of numbers for lower equal to 0, upper equal to 300, and so on. So these numbers are called magic numbers. So these magic numbers convey very little information to someone who might read the program at a later stage. And if you want to modify such a number which is used at different places, it is used for modification. So one way to deal with such magic numbers is you can give them meaningful names using a hash defined line. So a hash defined name replacement list. So wherever the name occurs, it will be replaced by the number. The name has same form as a variable, like a sequence of letters and digits. Whatever you want, you can use there. But it should begin with a letter. And the replacement text can be any sequence of characters. It is not limited to numbers. So you can see in the program given here, lower, upper, and step are now symbolic constants. They are not variables. So they do not appear in declarations. You don't have to declare them. Symbolic constant names are conventionally written in uppercase, so they can be readily distinguished from other variable names. and there is no semicolon at the end of a hash defined line. So this program functions in the same way as before. Only thing is the magic numbers are replaced by the hash defined names. Remaining part of this chapter will be uploaded in another video. Thank you for watching. Do like, comment, share and subscribe.